afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda Hero Strike Defender of the Fatherland. Off here to an exciting 1 vs 1 on Langada Sky. Between the north, you got Creativename, fighting for America, freedom and democracy, taking on the role here of the 2nd Armored Division. As the south, you got Panzer and Angreifen, fighting for Germany, Deutschland, the Wehrmacht, the 15th Panzer Division. And he's got Jaeger Armor, Jaeger Infantry, and Assault Support with Triple Infantry versus Creativename's Recon Support, Heavy Cavalry, and Rifle Company with Triple Infantry as well. Also, big thanks to Blake for donating and supporting the Propagandacast, allowing me to keep doing what I do day after day. So, big thanks to you, Blake, and of course, big thanks to all those who support me on Patreon on a monthly basis. Big thanks to you, you're all wonderful people. We got MD4 going to be here for Angreifen standard stuff. Double rations of Creativename, allowing him to seize a bit more territory. Of course, he can't quite nearly as well fight for it right away. But generally against the Wehrmacht, you're not going to immediately find yourself under deep pressure. So that's not necessarily as important. So versus the Wehrmacht, double rations stuff can work out well enough. In this case, we can see he's just pushing straight for the fuel point. He's just hoping to slow down Angreifen's occurring of it. He's not looking to fight for it. Maybe just stall at most. While going up there, and he's Rifle pushing hard down. So it's basically also in this case looking to sort of create a sort of front line here, and can then sort of afterwards just back cap all the territories here. So interesting capping order there from Creativename. Got the tank trap here down, so again he's wiring off. So basically he's just going to try and stall for as long as possible, I think, here against Angreifen. We're certainly anticipating that. So in a very interesting move there, very aggressive start there from Creativename and the 2nd Armored Division here versus Angreifen. We'll have to see how he handles that one. They almost got the fuel point there. One of these pioneers moving in. And Angreifen, of course, now first has to fight for the point, and then he has to grab it. And of course, meanwhile, Creativename will be getting extra fuel here, so sneaky start there again. In this case, Angreifen very astutely hits the carve point in the meanwhile. Very good move there, very good move. Some players would just try to just get caught down here, but Angreifen is quite short-sighted. Hits the carve point here. Meanwhile, the Rifle pushing back, going to escort hitting the carve point. So even as Angreifen is committing a large force here, Creativename is rapidly punishing Angreifen with this, but then hitting his carve point. Very good move there. 3rd Rifle's got on the way there for Creativename. Going to need to get up there close and fight. Well, up there fast, not necessarily up close. And there you go. Finally pushing back the Rearson squad there with some losses inflicted. We got more Rifle moving in here from the north though. Really putting some pressure on Angreifen, whose 3rd Grenadier squad is almost done. Eastern fuel point finally secured, but still achieved his goal, I think, primary goal. They're just denying Angreifen's tech, and of course building him quite a springboard to go ahead from against Angreifen. He's moving up the MD4 to the way to support the pioneers, but that means he's still not getting the fuel points. I mean, either way though, this is to an extent actually still a win there for Creativename, because the longer he keeps Angreifen off that fuel point, the more fuel just Creativename can race ahead with over Angreifen, just begin pushing for bigger things. In this case, he's going for the 3-man lieutenant. That's going to put quite more pressure down on Angreifen, of course. Make things even more difficult for him. So we can see they're just Creativename just pushing it out the door, out the window, and possibly wondering if we should have pushed it out the window. Rather than moving up against the Grenadiers, we've got 2 Grenadiers squad, so we should have a chance. In this case, not able to support quite well. Might get a bit rough here for Angreifen and the German army. We've got Rearson flanking the Grenadiers here, but still the Rifle now being focused on by the Grenadiers. The can't take case do outnumber here in the West M42. They are really close. They almost got past. They might just be able to pin him. He's not quite fast there to get out of the arc of fire. There goes switches about. Still going to be pretty close here. In the east, though, Grenadiers slowly being beaten here by American infantry. And there goes still up close to the MP4, so we should be able to keep it suppressed. And there goes sets about. Still, even here, I mean, he's going to suffer a lot of manpower for, but he's still stalling Angreifen's fuel point for a bit more, though I would say the manpower cost is not necessarily worth it. But there you go. Lieutenant arriving here for Creativename and the 2nd Armored Division just pressuring the Germans. Those goddamn Krauts. Troops being forced here. We got take up fort. Angreifen and mortar sitting up here in the west. Fuel point being secured by Grenadiers as Rearson move for the central victory point. Interesting to note, he's actually yet to secure a single victory point. Of course, he's been more focusing on pressuring the resource, and of course in the early game can sort of get away with not necessarily focusing very hard on the victory points. Resources tend to of course be much more important. So overall here I think Creativename displaying again a very agile mind that is able to quickly just outmaneuver consistently Angreifen. It's make it very difficult for Angreifen just gain a stable front and to begin pushing ahead here. So good aggressive work there by Creativename after the 2nd Armored Division. Back here the tech is almost done. Vehicle seeker, I think, do a lot for Angreifen, pushing back against the Creativename. 2-2s, half tracks, flame for half tracks could also be certainly be potent in this department. Out of the way that he needs to take up fast. Of course, he also needs his cover point back fast. Tank traps down there, consistent work. Also here. Thusly also using his WS and score to just, you know, make twice the amount of cover than others you could do if he just stuck with a 1. So there you go, right near cut, under 500 for 2. As it's slightly covered here, but there's a zone here we can just pass through and hit for the points. So he's going to have to shift back the machine gun there to deal with that, plus some infantry to spot from the machine. In theory, I mean, Creativename could try and bait the MG42 ahead here. Looks like he isn't. Gonna do so, pushing back the Americans from the centre. We got the anti-aircraft tactic on the way there for Creativename. They got rifle making into heavy cover. MG42 there. I mean, if one of the rifle sticks is out far enough, there's a chance they can suppress the rest of the squad. But looks like they are sufficiently covered. Oh, gets one suppressed, but can he pin them fast enough? That's the big question. I don't think he's likely to be able to run to the point neutral, further slowing down Angreifen's fuel income. And there we go. Another dip there. Another break in the fuel for Angreifen and the 15th Panzer Grenadiers, which had initially been stationed in Italy and been shifted over from Italy to supporting the Western Front there and setting up for Operation Herbstnebel. Telemines down there. Good work. Right flanking the MG42. They seem to be being pushed up there. Very good work. Their Creativename is seemingly thinking sole steps ahead of Angreifen, making it very difficult for Angreifen to establish any sort of long-term defences because Creativename is just moving very fluidly. He's going to acquire vehicles, I think, to really have a chance here. Panzer is something with the more firepower because obviously just on the risk having to concentrate a lot of grenadiers and then he gets hit elsewhere. So something like that I think is going to do him good, or another MG42 maybe. But there you go, Ralph's got pushed back, but still he is under pressure. He's still being cut off his fuel, and his opponent of course already pushed out an anti-aircraft tactic, so he's got the light vehicle advantage. We'll see here what Angreifen decides to do. A 2-2 though I think could help out a bit. Panzer Grenadiers could also be quite helpful. We got a bunker up the base there for medics. Half check blasting at the mortar crew. That's going to likely be a wipe there. Half check there covering the tree path, but also the lieutenant there. But the lieutenant himself is dead, meaning there's just the BR on the right, and even that's a lot of firepower. And yeah, that's a wipe on the mortar. Big loss for Angreifen. Big loss. Creativename just keeping up that insane pressure in the early game here. I mean, so much in this game, and Angreifen has yet to sort of find any sure footing. We've got S-mines down here to slow down some in the infantry, but that's not going to help us with the half track. But he might catch some of Creativename's forces off guard, and maybe, just maybe, blow them to sufficiently tiny chunks. A half track on the way there. Could be flamethrower, could be normal. We'll have to see what it ends up here though for Angreifen and the German army. In the meanwhile, though, Creativename pushing ahead for weapon racks. He's got one edge. He might as well just try and reinforce it further with BARs. Definitely a sharp move there, and it's going to make things even more painfully for Angreifen. I mean, the flamethrower tactic will be able to an extent help contain it, of course, with the anti-aircraft tactic about, though Creativename does have counters for it. So Angreifen's got quite a challenge ahead of him, but he's sort of slowly re-establishing control of the fuel point. And there you go, flamethrower tactic on the way, which of course means he's not been getting any medics out right away. But I think in this case, Angreifen is prioritising just keeping some kind of bleed up on Creativename, showing he doesn't fall too far behind on that game. Also, the flamethrower tactic could be sufficiently good bait to maybe try and draw the anti-aircraft tactic towards the telemine and then destroying it. I mean, that would be pretty helpful there for Angreifen. He can get rid of that anti-aircraft tactic. You can see Angreifen's finally trying to go a bit back on the offensive, though, of course. Creativename is already attacking back here in the west, and in the east there's also another attack plan there, so already here, Angreifen's plans are being thwarted, foiled by those dastardly Yankees. Pushing up here in the eastern side, we got the flamethrower tech moving in, burning the Yankees as well there, 2 flamethrowers. Technically, there's actually a 3rd flamethrower attack, but that one's actually meant to be sort of wielded by more of a ground member, sort of wielded a sort of more regular-looking flamethrower, but that was connected to the large flamethrower tank inside the half-track. That's a fun fact. Little fun fact. Gonna be deciding here. Troop ceiling reinforcing. Panzer Grenadiers still would be good here for Angreifen and the German army. Thankfully, it seems like despite having both minesweepers, he's yet to sort of spot the telemine in. Oh! He hits it, taking out the half track. And that is a definite point of relief here for Angreifen. I mean, it's not going to be enough to really just go heavily on the offensive, but losing that gives his vehicles and infantry some more freedom. versus creative name, and that's really what he needs. He needs the freedom to push ahead. He needs the freedom to be aggressive. He needs to be the freedom to try to push creative name a bit on the defense of himself. And with no immediate counter now to the flame for a half track, Angreifen has now created that situation, that opportunity, and we can see he's quickly taking advantage. He's just pushing right hard up the eastern side. He's also going for Jaeger armor. Might he be planning anti-tank half grenade? Yeah, he is. He's laying down Regal mines. Wow. You don't see a lot of Regal mines, and you see even less Regal mines from flamethrower half tracks. And meanwhile, he's also going for a Panzer Grenadier squad. Good. We got a big counterattack here for the Rifleman Lieutenant. We got Grenadiers, Pioneers nearby. We can also get the flamethrower half track over here. They can really throw a wrench here in the works, but there you go. Rifleman caught by the flamethrower half track. Bazooka team in the wing from north to sort of push things here. Grenadiers pushed off, but now he has cut off Creative Name's fuel. Creative Name still has to lead though, but slowing that down a bit, it's going to be reasonably good there for Angreifen. Particularly did get the half track without it doing too much to him. MD-42s, we can see he's actually committed to a big assault here with the MD-42 moving up as well. Actually pretty good. I mean, you actually want the MD-42 to possibly support your attacks, though. The way he's done it is a bit risky, but it seemingly is paying off here for Angreifen. So this is very good. This is actually a strongly, I think, executed assault there. In the west, the Rierson pushed back by the Grenadiers as well. Half-track pushed back into the base with some damage from bazooka rockets. And there you go, pushed back the Lieutenant, doing quite a bit of damage to him with the MD-42s. Tiny chance of wipe, but not too big. We got the German mortar there firing at him, stolen by the Yankees. And there you go, Panzer goes for the Rierland's assault rifles just cutting through them. Y'all don't very say Americans, they're like spoiled children. And you know what you do with spoiled children? Shoot them with assault rifles. Nein, Ludwig, but I like the way you're thinking. Fixing out the flame for a half track. You might want to take up, there you go, push it. Angreifen needs to try and, not ensure he falls too far behind there, despite everything. Big counterattack here, he needs to push for the cutoff point. He's pulling into cover, he's probably going to try and stall, as it then makes more pressure up the eastern side, but we can see here, Creative Name is quickly returning the favour in the west, versus Angreifen. Panzer there taking minor losses from the Rifleman and Lieutenant. I mean, overall, they just don't have the firepower to fight this at range. I mean, at most, again, he's just tying down a lot more manpower, munitions with just 340 manpower. This also repossessed machine gun. I don't think should have moved out on them. I think should have kept them in the house. They would have moved up to this house and actually used the infantry instead to push it. That feels a bit more mistaken there by Angreifen. This obviously might be the mortar that's got him worried, but yeah, I don't think he quite executed that one soundly. Still can almost get the take up going, even then it's going to be far behind Creative Name, who, though to his, I think, great fortune is yet to take up. Obviously for Creative Name, he should really want to take up. I mean, again, he's got the resources to do so fast. And there you go, Flammpanzerwagen scorching the 50 cal machine gun crew. But there you go, Bazooka team move on the hunt for Krauts. And you know, it's done a lot of damage, but he's yet to score any kills except the 3 he's got in the first place. But there you go, there's now actually 2 more Yankees being burned. You might want to consider laying down some more Regal mines if possible with it. And there you go, both Coast squads push back here. He's going to need some more support in there. Panzer going to be reinforcing. So Palmer, yeah, though of course he wouldn't be able to build anything right away with. Oh, 50 cal back in action. And there you go, he scorches away once more. He scorches away. And there you go, spawn the Lieutenant and the mortar crew. Quickly sending a lot of Creative Name's forces scurrying away. I mean, the flamethrower check without anything sort of neatly counted is a very potent tool there for Angreifen, and getting rid of that half track that way, the enemy one that is, that's definitely, I think, proven to be a real tide turner here. But I think you still benefit more from a few extra mines here and there. I mean, if you can surprise Creative Name by getting one of his tanks stuck in front of an anti-tank gun, for example, that's going to be pretty helpful. Creative Name, though, is finally taking up, and he's going to be able to push out a Sherman almost as soon as it's done. I mean, he's got the fuel, he just needs to save up the manpower, of course. With the way he's just sort of throwing himself at Angreifen, that could be a bit delayed as well, which gives Angreifen more time to bring out something like a Stug. I'm certainly imagining, in the circumstances, that Angreifen is very much thinking in the lines of a Stug here, because he should be aware he's going to be falling behind of his opponent. Still, even if he's got better control of the fuel points, he is still behind. And there you go, Major. You got S-bombs being laid down in the fuel point, very good. Half track's going to need more repairs, so this is getting pretty close to Veteran 3. This is getting pretty close. And there he goes, drops the S-mine project, gets the 50 cal, and the Lieutenant there just lets loose. More Pioneers to help repair, but also manages to help build up the support on the Coh. Gute Arbeit. Victory points whilst the Ukrainians the lead. There were 420 victory points, blazing towards victory so far. With German army here at 375 here, with the 15th Panzer Grenadier Division. Support Corps, I imagine, will be prioritised after the half-tech. Will maybe prioritised over the half-tech. No, he's prioritising the half-tech first. It's going to be a lot faster than the Support Corps, because it's not even rushing the Support Corps to be able to get anything out of it right away. I mean, he's still short on fuel. Though being able to at least control both fuel points, even for just a few seconds, I think has helped Angreifen a bit catching up. Though he needs to retreat those Panzer, they're just being rushed straight down the open. Even though the Grenadiers for light machine gun support and the Panzer Grenadiers are being focused down pretty hard. There you go, Support Crop, Flammpanzerwagen, good to go as well there for the German army. Creativename can now call in a Sherman. He's also, by the way, yet to go for the Doctrine, which I do feel is a bit of a mistake. I mean, you could easily benefit from Rangers or EC8s by now. I mean, he could easily just push for EC8s now if he wanted to, which would be a real problem for Angreifen. Or Recon support and, you know, airdrop comic groups with Greyhounds. There's a lot he could actually be going for right now, but he just isn't because he hasn't chosen the Doctrine. So I feel like there's some options, then opportunities lost. In fact, yeah, he's going for the Sherman there, but because of all the way he's done, he's actually delayed it so long that at the same time Angreifen calling the Stug 3G. Technically, a Panzer Gun division was more likely than equipped with the Stug force, as they would generally sort of use their replacement tanks in those Panzer Gun divisions. There you go, veteran 3 on the Flammpanzerwagen, another push up the eastern side, this time just with Pioneers. It's not quite as willing to commit a large force this time around. Sherman halfway done, Stug halfway done. More to come in the centre. There you go, Rifle pushed off the rest of the fuel pond there with a big shower of death. Pioneer assault in the east, halted and routed. And there you go, got the first Stug 3G up here for Angreifen, for the German army, equipped with both machine guns and spotting scopes. Rolling straight ahead. The Sukaviations are getting burned by the flame for half-check, taking quite a bit of damage. In fact, close to being wiped out. Dave, in fact, he's not pink. Oh! Ooh, very close. We got the Sherman in front here, the Stug. Penetrating hit there into the armor from the Sturmgeschütz 3 Asphongi. We got the Sherman there blitzing. We got a Panzerfaust off. He might actually have a chance of destroying it, and that would be a pretty big win there for Angreifen in the early game, if he is capable of taking down this Sherman. But now, we've got a lot of infantry rushing in there, which might make it more difficult for the Stug to do anything, particularly since he doesn't have this also the Suga teams, in which case this Stug could be a lot of trouble. There you go. Seems like he made some guesswork there next, particularly with the Sherman wide. We can see they're creating just making a sort of detour there, and there you go. Got a hit with the Stug as well on the infantry. Good work, Stug rolling back here, machine gun and main gun firing. Landing 2 kills for the fatherland. In the east, southeast, sort of central east, rather than out in the open, being burned alive by the flame for half-tech. Stug running straight into the bazooka team. That is definitely not a situation where the Stug wants to be, as it takes so much damage. Got the flame for half-tech running out, burning away at the 50 caliber crew, and we got armor piercing rounds going off as well, destroying the flame for a half-tech. Almost got her there. Second Sherman left creating. That's going to be a bit of a problem there for Angreifen. Only one pack 40 and one Stug. Though of course they are reasonably well suited for it due to the higher rates of fire. Sherman on the way there. Grenadiers moving about. And I'm going for another mortar to replace the one lost at this stage. Probably also help counter it. But of course, any kind of artillery support tends to be useful. Will anything ever hit that Regal man and get immobilized? That's going to be a really fun question to see if that gets answered. Sherman moving ahead. Second Sherman right about down there for creative name and the 2nd Armored Division. Stug moving up, we got the Pack 4 disappointing. He needs to be careful he doesn't create any blind spots so the Sherman can just race ahead. And there you go, he actually gives away the Stug's position a bit. Mine spotted and destroyed, just set off by actually on mortar. I'll wait, Regal mines are gone. That's a bit unfortunate for Angreifen. Of course, a big tactical win there for creative name, as otherwise he could risk, getting that Sherman stuck in a really bad place. So they're finding the machine guns, Sherman moving ahead. The Stug Pack 4 need to fall back. In this case, it seems like it's just going to rush them head on, almost. And also, this is happening. You can see again, he's pushing up the pioneers on the eastern side. Angreifen very consistent in his harassment by now. Trying not to get just bogged down in one spot, but actually trying to draw attention, at least make gains. Then there you go. Sherman's moving ahead. They're slightly spaced apart to make it harder for the Stug and Pack 4 to just focus them down. Very good work. Target weak point, but that aims to support the Stug is exposed to infantry and thusly anti-tank rifle grenades. Pack 40 wipe, pretty bad stuff. There's going to need Panzer grenadiers up there. Sherman moving in there. Oh, this is looking pretty bad for Angreifen. Looking pretty bad. Pack 40 is beyond his reach. Stug is almost being taken out. He got double Panzer fast and the Sherman slowing him down. Rifle needs to be stopped though. Needs to get everything else in there to support. Well, they got Rifle being wiped out. Other Sherman moving in. They could try to go for it. Almost got a wipe. They almost got a wipe. And does he get it? Yes! Rifleman wipe, but the bazooka takes it. He's going after the other Sherman just as the other Sherman goes for deep flank. Oh, this is going to be catastrophic for the Stug. There you go, might be able to Panzer fast, but the Christians can then finish off the Sherman. Penetrating in the Stug. Oh, sliver of health left, that's the Sherman. Trying to build as much distance as possible. Good, but the Sherman gets it. Big loss there for Angreifen. He's won his only Stug kaput. I think it does highlight to an extent the importance of actually supporting your Stugs with infantry. In fact, Stugs were, that is, once they began attaching them to infantry divisions, sort of more directly, Stugs were actually required by directive from Guderian to actually assemble a platoon to act as an escort for them. They should generally be amongst the best men of the division, and they should be generally equipped, if possible, with assault rifles. So, a few fun facts there about Stugs and their employment. In the sort of more specialised units, they generally have an escort company, for example, just directly attached to the battalion or battery or whatever. So that way, ensure it. But for any sort of division that received them organically as part of their tank destroyer companies, where they usually got stuck in. Then again, note, they're assault guns, not tank destroyers. I mean, they were basically required to sort of assemble then sort of escort company from their own men to sort of that way support it. So a little fun fact there. Little fun fact there. More Riflemen for creative name, having suffered some losses there to the German army. Regaining back the fuel point again. There you go, got another Stuttgart as well here for Deutschland. And I imagine the same would apply, to Panzer Grenadier Division. And then again, considering that was pretty much the only sort of armour bit they had, you'd probably put it together. But even then, I imagine the directive would have applied to them as well. So a few fun facts there. Sherman going for the Grenadiers, opening up. 50 cal machine gun almost done. Hammering away there with high explosive rounds. But does he expect the Stug? Most likely not. But things are going to be tricky here for Angreifen. When creative name does have 2 Shermans, he's yet to go for Docks, which I do feel like his biggest mistake so far. Got to kill the Stug on the echelons. Machine gun then taking modified Grenadiers, about to get wiped out. And Grenadiers pushing back the Sherman there. He's much more cautious than I can see about Sherman flank. As soon as he sees the flank, he immediately shifts to the Pack 40 and the Stug further back, and the precision deck to deal with a potential Sherman flank there. So he's suddenly seen what creative name can do with the Shermans, and he's taking them a lot more seriously than they did previously. Big 2 points, whilst the Angreifen is really beginning to fall behind creative name here and the 2nd Armoured Division. Need to go for the Stug. He's going to get anti-tank rifle grenaded. That is a critical mistake. Ach mein Gott! That was definitely, I think, a bit of a blunder there. Panzer moving up the halfway to veteran fleet, by the way, cutting down the reactions, which is certainly a good source of experience. Grenadiers riding cavalry fire against riflemen. Back here, repairs going on for the Stug. Pack 40 need a reinforcement. Grenadiers with more Grenadiers to push them out in the major. Pretty close to the road. And there you go. Panzer going to do this very close to the your feet. Lieutenant moving up there. It's going to need to stop up. They're going to need to not immediately. Instead, he's not paying attention. He's not moving up. The Panzer going to do this. Angreifen's clearly preoccupied elsewhere, which is always a great opportunity if I create an into some serious damage. Got the Sherman moving up. And then he's also got the other Sherman doing damage. He's finally going for Doctor Battle. He's going for a 25-minute heavy cavalry. He's clearly playing for the Pershing, but I do think he still some opportunities to use smoke mines of the regular kind of just, ranges. This definitely feels like a strategically weak pick. I mean, overall choosing the Doctor is strong, but the way he sort of chose it in terms of timing, I would describe as weak. If that makes sense. We got a second pack 40 there for Angreifen. Lieutenant Rieston's rifle pushing up the west side there. Panzer Ding Lieutenant. And he's moments away from the Pershing. Angreifen's definitely going to need another Stug to have even a remote sliver of a chance here. In particular, once the Pershing hits. Big push up the west side here from Creativename, sneaking a lot of infantry, laying down tank traps to provide more cover for his men. Might also make it harder here for Angreifen to use his vehicles, which might be his plan there, might not. Direct hit on the Stug from a mortar. Pack 40 repositioning, the Panzer Abwehr on the 40. Aerial vehicles Rieston's crew versus the Grenadiers, quickly retreating. Creativename has no intention of stalling now, buying time, he just wants them out of there. He's also just clearly trying to just buy time for it, and he's not going to waste manpower if necessary there for the Pershing. The Pershing is definitely Creativename's big gambit right now. I mean, he does have soldiers, it's not just in a complete fear syndrome. He has, I think, taking the right precautions before trying to play for it. Though again, he could easily benefit from just using the docks and soon getting some more out of the rest of the docks. I mean, if it's a good assault here with combined arms, could possibly have won in the game. But there you go, second Stug on the way there for Angreifen. Second Stug. Need to be careful there with the Stug, exposing it to bazooka fire. Definite tactical error there by Angreifen. Definite tactical error. Spotting scopes on the way. They got big push up the west side here with Rifle Lieutenant and a 50 caliber. He could pull into some of the heavy caliber and stall for a bit, but the question is how long can he maintain it? Second Stug arriving, but even then his first Stug's about to blow up. Heavy loss here for the Creativename Lieutenant, but the Grenadiers are being slowly overwhelmed here. Trying to get out the fuel, but he should have probably kept the other Grenadier squad. And he loses the Grenadier squad. Big loss. He quickly replaces it, but still losing a veteran 3 Grenadier squad with a light machine gun. Is a rather costly perspective at this stage. A rather costly prospect, not perspective, I think. Fixing up the Stug. Passing out for Creativename, the M26. Apparently first initially designed as a medium tank, then just reclassified as a heavy tank, and later after the war at some point redesignated as a medium tank. They tried to upgrade him to like 28, I think, patents, or 27, but that project was actually scrapped as well. Overall, the Pershing was not a wildly successful heavy tank, a bit mildly. Juggernaut in the Sherman, getting a good hit. Pack 40 getting a good hit there on the Pershing tank. Benefiting the side armour. Double hits there on the Pershing, good work. Fifth couple white, that's actually a bit of loss there for Creativename. He's beginning to run into maybe some matrix here versus Angreifen. Veteran the 3 pounds was a pretty good hit for Angreifen. Needs to be careful, doesn't get them white by anything. There you go, pushed away. Got a Sherman hiding over here. He seems to be planning something, but so far isn't quite committing to it. Stug's in need of repair. You got vehicles there being pushed back by grenadiers. Aviation crews. No, I said vehicle crews. There we go. Swift flank on the Pack 40, wiping the crew before the Stu can even react to get off a hit in return. But looks like the other Stu landed a... No, didn't actually. Briefly looked like it might have landed a hit, but there are no kills on it. So clearly it could not have actually landed a hit. Bit of a poor movement there. He needs to get it pulled back to safety and repaired. It is heavily damaged here from finding versus creative name. You can also soon consider going for a third Stu. As for creative name, Sherman's, another, or Jackson could be an option here. And of course trying to use combined arms versus Angreifen. Mortifying the 50 caliber. Just going to try and silence creative name's mortar, or creative name's stolen mortar. Pershing good to go. Again, Sham's hanging about. They might be playing some kind of bigger flank. So far it does not seem to be materialising here versus Angreifen. Combined arms at the right time would be really good, but there you go, Sherman again. Forcing the double packs up here. In this case, he actually stood up in the wrong spot. Took a full volley there from not just the packs, but the Stu as well, almost taking out the Sherman. That was pretty lucky there for creating him. Didn't get caught by any more, just thinking he was stunned by something. Rifle Major there getting blasted by Stooks and other nasty elements. And there you go, Pershing versus the double pack 40's going to need spotting hit, Panzer blast off. You might be able to get the Pershing, they're actually going to leave versus the Rifleman, Riesch, or Major down the centre. Pershing almost down, Pershing almost down. Oh dear, sliver of health here. Well, not sliver, but it's certainly a small chunk of it. It is soon approaching sliver of health stages though. Those Dukes in the pursuit here in the west looking for another Sherman. Almost losing one of his Dukes, definitely something he should be avoiding if possible. Also surprised he hasn't upgraded the more veteran Duke with the machine gun just up versus infantry. Here though, assault stalling for Angreifen. He's been able to push out the Pershing. He cannot quite follow up on the assault there. Has to fall back, leaving this territory still in the hands of creative name and the 2nd Armoured Division. His Panzer grenadiers are, I think, wonderfully good to go. And he lost a pack. Now that was a bit more hurtful there for Angreifen. Bit more hurtful. Calling in smoke to cover them. Good work there. You could have probably thrown down to cover a bit better the Pack 40 or something, but didn't quite. And there go bomb grenade. Does nothing. Fixing up the Pershing, fixing up the Sherman. Sherman's creeping about there. Very close eventually too, but not quite. Meanwhile, the Panzers just continue cutting the way through creative name centre. Like a hot German knife through weak American butter. Panzers then need to retreat. And another 50 over there for creative name. Another Maldeus. Sham needs to be careful, next needs to fall back. And if he gets spotted by the Stooks in the Pack 40, he could very quickly lose that one. I'm surprised creative name hasn't gone for additional tanks or tank destroyers here. A tank destroyer would help a bit versus the Stooks. But there you go. Pack 40 moving ahead straight to the Pack 5 and soon the Stooks as well. Got one pack, they almost wiped. Need to get the others to support. Almost got the Sherman, almost got the Sherman. Got smoke down there, smoke down. Stu with target reports to Len. There you go. Stu going to fire from the Pershing. Pershing moves straight to the other. Stu is probably very close to it. T2. Shot bounces at almost point blank range, but there you go. Re-armor hit from the 2nd Stug. Pershing easily outmaneuvering them. Smoke there helping out a lot there from Creative Name. Good throw there. But there you go, now exposed to both Stooks. Free armor exposed. Down to half health, down to half health. Bazooka firing the Stook, but doesn't seem to make an impact. And there you go. Pershing abandoned. Wow, I don't think I've seen a Pershing abandoned before. Good lord. Creative Name's Pershing got abandoned. But there he goes, flanking the Stooks with the Sherman. But, oh dear. No. The Sherman's too fast. The Sherman's too fast. He's not maneuvering the Stook to try and get out of the line of fire. Plus the burning wreckage of the Stook is preventing the pack force from easily supporting. He's moving up. He's recruiting the Pershing with the Pioneers. He's going to repair it. Oh. No. And there you go. Sherman is out of control. The Rearson will be going for the Stook. I don't think he's realised the Pershing is out of control. He doesn't care. Either way, he's being pushed back. Their Pioneers are going in to fix up the now German Pershing tank. Wow, that's definitely a first thing. Covered Pershing by the Germans. Good golly, Miss Molly. Meanwhile, he's sending the rest of his forces forward here to keep Creative Name pinned down in his base as much as possible so he can fix that Pershing up as fast as possible. But he comes here with the smoke screen on the German positions there, preventing them from actually pinning him down inside his base. Very good counter move there, but Creative Name can push through fast enough, though he is pretty close to another Pershing. But will it be in time before the German Pershing is ready? So what should we call it? Let's call it the Panzer van Göring because it's fat and useless. Don't say that, he might be listening, you know. Nein, that's Himmler. Oh. Pulling it against the 5th caliber. You should actually achieve that Pioneers got reinforced and then pulled up a just moved on regular half to reinforce them so you can repair the Pershing faster. But there you go, made into fire for the Pershing, and with that, Creative Name is now aware that Angreifen's got a Pershing. Lieutenant getting blasted by it, Pioneers need to get out of there. Another Stook would be great here for Angreifen, I think, support, or Panzer 4 and Ostwind, but a half-track really would do him a lot of good just as to reinforce. So 3 kills there on the German Pershing. Bazooka team's going in here. Rather than getting splattered across the ground here with the Pershing. Bazooka team's tank from the front. Pershing misses though. And there you go, Sherman flanking behind the Pershing. Sherman flanking, needs to get the pack band off, and he's going for an Ostwind now. But there you go, a lot of Panzerfaust on the Sherman. Main gun out on the Pershing. Main gun out. He's close to actually having the Sherman taken out there. And he gets it. He actually gets it. The Pershing is still alive. Creative Name is going for a Pershing of his own though. But another of his own. I mean, obviously the first one was also his own, but now it's Germany's. Reassurance's wiped. Ostwind out in the field. He's sending the Pershing towards his opponent's Pershing. Angreifen is just going to ignore this because he knows he can't save the Pershing. What he can do instead is just occupy the Pershing and then hit the remaining troops Creative Name has. And there you go, he's just hitting at it. He's driving all of Creative Name's remaining forces into space. He's hurting them there like they're sheep. Pigs for the slaughter. Either way, yeah, he's driving them straight to the slaughter there. Everything he's got left is being sent into the base that's right to be lined up against the wall to be murdered by the Ostwind. Oh God, Lord. Major down, Rifleman, Lieutenant, almost right, 50 caliber, not doing too well either. He's going for the ambulance first. There you go, Lieutenant down, with this Creative Name surrenders. GG, game over. As this Pershing was dealing with a pack 40s, Angreifen was cutting apart the remainder of his forces inside of his base with an Ostwind. This was certainly a brutal fight with a lot of turnaround moments between these two players. Stooks, Pershings, Shermans, Smoke. Sadly, I think weaker Doctor chose against Creative Name because he was choosing it. No use to create combined arms, I think could also have helped him. And sometimes he did feel a bit passive. Also could have done with mines early on. Angreifen struggled a bit in the early game, perhaps some unfortunate tactical choice, but in the end he was slowly able to turn around versus Creative Name, and slowly but surely beat him silly. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. If you did, why not subscribe, tell your friends, share it with everyone. If not, send in a plan of some feedback in the comment section. If this is Imperial Dinksy, cheers. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you all tomorrow for another signing episode. Bye.